Hello, everybody. Let me see if I can get this. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera straight. How's everybody doing? Let's see. Hey, lucky girl. Let me see here. Lucky girl, Catherine, Paulette. Hi, Linda, Spooky Mama, Delilah, Mama Bear, Cynthia. Let me see. 1 second, please. To make sure that everything is as it should be on the YouTube. Just double checking. Okie dokie. Let's see. Hello, Coriel, Ronette, Marie Sutton, Sharon, Carol, Patsy, Meduchis, Cynthia. Hey, Bam Bam. Hello, Bam Bam. I need you to answer me. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you my cousin? Bam Bam, are you my cousin? Are you who I think you are? Are you who I think you are? There you go. I said it properly now. Hey, Sunflower. Bam Bam, are you my cousin or no? No. Okay, because I know one of my cousins, I thought her name was, her screen name was Bam Bam. Okay. Sorry about that. Sharon, Judy, Rolanda, Carol, Sally. Hey, Carol. Delilah and Rudd. How's everybody doing? I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to let everybody trickle in. So let me see if I can move this just a smidgen down. There we go. Priscilla, Ariana, Deborah. Hi, Wendy. Diana, how are you? How you doing? We had our cousins over the weekend that I didn't go live. So it was not this last weekend, but the weekend before. They're from Los Angeles and they're also big Dodgers fans. And I showed them the picture that you sent me with your little message on the back, because we have it up on our little bobblehead shrine, and they loved it. They loved it. So again, a huge thank you, because it's up. The World Series picture is up with our little bobblehead Dodgers shrine in the living room. Hey, Patty, Marie Lou, Teresa, Priscilla, Sharon, Rolanda, hello, Catherine. Hi, Anita. Thank you. Don't start collecting pins. It's endless. Well, see, here's the thing. I wanted a Corey Seager bobblehead so bad, and we never got one. I know we can buy one on eBay, but he left the team. I forgot what team he's going to now, but he's no longer on the Dodgers. So I really do want a CT3 bobblehead. We don't have him. We do have Justin Turner, but see, bobblehead night is during baseball season. It's during the week. So Peanut and I have to take like half a day of work to drive up to LA. And then we usually take the next day off just because, we won't get home till like midnight or so because of the traffic getting out of Dodger Stadium. But that's on my list for this year to hopefully get a Chris Taylor bobblehead and a Cody Bellinger bobblehead. So we'll see. Wish me luck. We must add to the Shriner bobblehead, the bobblehead shrine. Hey, Aspie. And I just, I need to hang up the Dodger flag that Sylvia sent because Peanut took the old one off because it was so ratty. But he took the entire pole, the flag pole down. So I got to go find it. I don't even know where he stuck it. I think it's in the garage somewhere. So I got to go find it and hang up my Dodgers flag before the season starts because I think we're about to get into spring training. So I need to go hang it up so the whole neighborhood knows that this house is Dodger fan. So, hey, Ingla. Oh, you guys, I went to Trader Joe's because check this out. I saw it on, okay, so I'm a crackhead and I follow on Twitter, no, not Twitter, Instagram. I follow this account called Trader Joe's Addict, and they're always posting all the new stuff that's coming to Trader Joe's. And they posted a picture of, check this out, barbecued chicken wing almonds. Don't ask me. It sounds horrible, but I was curious, right? So I went to Trader Joe's. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I have to show it to you guys because Trader Joe's is right down the hill. So it's like, it's a dangerous place because it's like less than a mile. So I'm always down there. Let me see. Was it Trader Joe's Obsessed or Trader Joe's Addict? See, I follow too many Trader Joe's accounts, you guys. It's like one of my favorite places in the world. Hold on, let me see, because I got to find it. It sounded disgusting. No, it's not this one. Okay, let me see. Gardeners, Barnes & Noble, Trader Joe's list. Let me see. Was it Trader? Yeah. Trader Joe's list. Check that out. Buffalo styled seasoned almonds. I don't know why I'm curious about that because it sounds kind of like really gross. Buffalo styled seasoned almonds. It's $3.99. Hey, Desiree. So I'm on the hunt for those, but I don't know if the store down the hill from me is going to get it. So I may have to go. I may have to go on a little adventure to every Trader Joe's in the area to find it. And here's another thing for what is it? For Valentine's Day, they always have these heart-shaped macarons. But I can never find them ever. I can't ever find them. So I missed out on it again this year. So I didn't get those. I mean, it's just macarons. You see, does it have any feathers in it like Church's chicken? No, they're almonds, lucky girl. I would hope not. Let me see. What else do they got at Trader Joe's that's new? Oh, see? This is new too. Spicy buffalo cheddar cheese. Let me see, my camera will focus. Nope, it's not focusing. God dang it. But anyways, it's spicy buffalo cheddar cheese. What else they got? Tulips are back in season. I saw a whole bunch of them at Trader Joe's when I was just there. So they got all the tulips out, but they're pricey. They're like $10. I was like, no. Let me see. What else is new at Trader Joe's? See, I got to give you guys all the Trader Joe's info here, because that's my favorite place in the whole wide world. Oh, this stuff right here, we got it. And it's really, really good. It's Incredi sauce. It's a sweet, tangy, smoky flavored dipping sauce, but we put it on sandwiches. And it's really, really, really good. So if you find this, I recommend, because it's very tasty. And then there's another one that's been there for a while. I can't remember the name of it, and that one's really good too. Let me see. What else they got there at Trader Joe's? Okay, let me see. Sorry, guys, I'm just burning time just to give people time to get in. There's blood orange mix to make a blood orange cake from Trader Joe's, and it comes with the icing. I got the lemon cake one last year, and I still need to send it to Johnny and Jenny because it's sitting in my pantry. I need to get my ass down the hill. But doesn't that look good? It's blood orange. Let me see. What else is new at Trader Joe's? I think that's about it. But let me show you guys what I got, because let me see. Hold on. I got a new plant. See? And then you can't see it because the angle, but I got a new plant at Trader Joe's. It's really pretty. The undersides are like, they're purple. So, and there's like all kinds of babies growing. You see, like that's a baby. There's like a bunch of little babies that are growing out of there. So I got another plant. You turn into a crazy plant lady. So that's the story of my life. Story of my life. Yeah, I know. I know, Marie. I know. I need to. Avocados are expensive out here, anyways. What? The name of what, Carol? The name of what? Oh, good, Mary Lou. The plant? I don't know. I don't know what kind of plant this is. Let me see the sticker. It just said green foliage. Oh, it says small premium Calathea, Calathea. Calathea. That's what it says. It's pretty. It's like a dark green, but then underneath the leaves, it's purple, and the stems are purple. It's really cute. So I hope that helps. The bottom says Calathea. No, I don't think so, Marie. You've never seen it before, Carol? Yeah, just Google it. I just found it at the Trader Joe's. It was like $7 for that little plant. Like all the plants in this room have come from Trader Joe's, and I got that's. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my 7th little plant in this room. So I need to stop with the buying of the plants. Name it Bob. That's cute. So I think we're good. Is everybody good to get started? We've been jacking off for about almost 15 minutes now. So this one here is the one that we did yesterday for Vanky, the little princess. We did this one yesterday. And here it is. I did say yesterday that I wouldn't be surprised if she's indicted. I am retracting that statement after closer inspection of the Grand Tableau. I do not see indictment. I see huge, huge, huge legal issues, serious fines, institutions and corporations and organizations that they have where a lot of people congregate as well, close. And difficulty with getting access to finances and resources. So she lands down here at the bottom of the tableau. Based on position, she's a bit overwhelmed. Down her current column here, it's saying that she's had a little bit of luck with commerce and business because she's got Clover and House Ship. There she is at the early stages or the beginning of disputes and arguments with negotiations in government and also negotiations for corporations and institutions. Birds sits in house Tower, and Tower sits in house Birds. Okay, so those are the mirrors in this Grand Tableau. I don't see anything that is in its own house. So we're talking negotiations with government, meetings with government, talking to government. And that's all forms of government as well, including quite possibly the January 6th committee, because over here it shows invitations to a committee. Here, there's an invitation right here where she is promised and is committed to go, and they're just waiting on her. She's got Birds sitting over her and Mountain right below. Not only is this not good position because she falls at the bottom of the tableau, meaning she has no control over any of this stuff, and this is all kind of weighing heavily on her, but she's also sitting next to Clouds. She's got Coffin over her head, Birds over her head, Snake over her head, Clouds right next to her, Mountain right below her. She's got Sun here in the line of fate, but it's followed by Whip and Scythe, so not good. She's surrounded by a lot of negative cards. The closer Birds sits, it becomes negative because Birds has a lot of nervous energy to it. This could be a lot of thoughts and anxiety and worries in regards to legal issues that she's going to be facing. She also has Tree very, very close. Now, I was looking at this, and Tree lands in her house, okay? Clouds is sitting on House Man. Clouds is King of Clubs. I am thinking that this is quite possibly her father, and then something in regards to her father as well as her health. Now, for her, health-wise, and the only reason I'm reading it as health is because it falls very close to her. It's within, if it would have been over here, then no, but it's too close to not be read as health. There's some issues here around her health that could have to do with prolonged depression, anxiety, but it's chronic depression, chronic anxiety, where perhaps panic attacks, where something just happens very abruptly and you have physical, like a physical reaction to it. And the reason I'm saying that is because Tree is right here. The cards to look out for in the health cluster is Coffin, which is touching it. Whip, which is right below Tree. Clouds, which is right next to Tree. And then Tower, which knights down to here. There's something serious going on with her health, and it could just be something related to stress and anxiety that's causing like a physical reaction, depression. And if this is her father, because it's the King of Clubs, which sits on House Man, he's having health issues as well. Even though it doesn't really show in his tableau, so she could just be worried about his health, but this is landing on her house. When I box her in, there is a betrayal from a friend or someone that was trusted. She is also not trustworthy. Snake and house dog, not trustworthy with her communications in government. Also someone that is down this column here, very verbally abusive, maybe yelling and screaming, just not good. And then coffin here, depressed, gloomy, moody, clouds, depressed, gloomy, moody, mountain right below her, very stubborn, has to have the last word, doesn't let up, overbearing. But here it shows that she can be quite optimistic when she needs to be. She sits on house letter, which means superficial if we're looking at personality. But down her current column, it's showing that she's had small wins in regards to business ventures, but she's at the beginning and early stages of legal disputes with government and about institutions and corporations, and she is stonewalling and delaying and not letting up down this column. Now, the cards that start her tableau is Moon, Mice, and Clover. So her reputation and honors, the Moon is too far from her. She's not recognized well. Lily sits on Scythe. There's damage to her character. She may present herself, because Lily's lands above her head, she may present herself as someone of good character, but if this is your reputation, it's being diminished. Lily sits on Scythe. Her reputation is ruptured. And then it's followed here by birds, not good. And then followed underneath by snake. In house dog, not trustworthy, regardless of how she tries to present herself. She's recognized as a thief. So her reputation is diminishing. She has some small wins or small gains in regards to commerce and business, but that is where this commerce and business is in the early stages of legal disputes and legal problems. She's got ship sitting right next to her. Again, commerce, but if you follow it this way, she's headed for a shitstorm. You have ship in house book, which is talking about commerce that she has not exactly been transparent with. And I say not transparent because book sits at a distance. So she's been keeping commerce secret, secret, hush, hush. It moves this way. Trouble because of a man. Growing finance, something here that's growing. Her finances are significantly fraudulent and in trouble this way. Down this column here, book and house clouds. We're looking at things that have been obscured and not transparent that cause big problems. Whatever those secrets were are being delivered about this person's financial situation. And then there's a rupture here. They're cut off from finances, or perhaps being able to be financed. Let me see here. So that's her current line. She knights here to house. House sits on house mountain. She knights here to whip. She knights to lilies and tower and stars. So just arguments and fighting over property as well as the family, which is prolonged and ongoing, and it is persistent. Properties are in big trouble. Mountain sits, or house sits on mountain. So there's properties. It could be a mountain house, if we're going to be literal about it. And it could just be also that property is frozen or delayed, because mountain has to do with freezers. Where bear is more of your refrigerator, mountain is more of a freezer. So there may be significant and serious issues around property. And also fighting with family, prolonged fighting with family, persistent fighting with family, and fighting about properties. She Knights here to Lilies. It's going to be a long time. This is something that's going to require patience, but it's almost like the patience runs out because this sits on Scythe. People get tired of waiting, and it's almost like she's forced. And then here, like the institution here, if this is government, well, it sits above her. It has control of her. She does not sit above it. So if her tactic is to just prolong, and this is the courts and the institutions, well, this way, it's saying that it's in the early stages of a fight and the patience, it just runs out. They run out of patience. And then Lily's Knights here to Coffin, which is over her head. So it's almost like somebody forces her hand, quite possibly this right here, forces her hand to where she has to go. Now, and then she Knights over here to Stars. It's almost like she's looking to change direction and start a new beginning, but it's right here. There's travel by air, long distance. This right here would be like an airport. These two together. This by itself speaks of travel, but when you get birds and ship together, that confirms that it's going to be a long distance overseas sort of travel. This way here, so perhaps that's the backup plan. If the shit hits the fan, they're just going to bounce this way. But that's a line of influence. Okay? It's a line of influence. It's not something that's like for sure. It's kind of like it's influencing all these situations. Let me see here. So if this is Kushner, traditionally man and woman are together in a pair. I would assume this is her father, King of Clubs. If this is Kushner, he is also under considerable duress in regards to his finances. And it's not just Kushner. Man sits on crossroads. There's more than one man in the family. Crossroads is two or multiples, double. So there's an additional two men here that are going to be suffering for a significant period of time. But it's almost like they need to provide answers. And then something is revealed, discovered, and it has to do with the finances, but the finances here are... Now, for her financial issues, it's almost like she is under strain or hurt, because this way, on this line of influence, it's saying that with the letter, the cross, the bear, and the whip, that's showing serious fines, widespread financial fines, and serious financial difficulties. She is going to have to rely on him, her husband, for financing, simply because Coffin sits on garden, Tower sits on Coffin. Coffin is followed by clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heart sits on house. There's something that the family really values that has to do with a corporation and institution, also very large buildings, large buildings with residences inside as well. So condos, townhouses, hotels. Well, those and the organization itself, perhaps Trump org and other institutions that may have the Trump name close. It comes to an end very painfully and very, very badly. So it's almost like from her to Bear, her financial health is uncertain and it's not good. And then if you look under Bear, she's cut off from access to finances because her access here is very fraudulent. It's suspicious, if you will. So financially, she's going to have to rely on this man, which in this reading, Kushner. So her and Kushner are perhaps discussing to get these two to talk. You go woman to birds to man to there, box them in right here. They're probably talking and discussing about financial plans and how he's going to have to perhaps make some investments or cash in some long-term investments because it's like she's very limited on what she can do financially. Because this right here, this is her present line. The following line here is when the institutions and the organizations close. And then there's trouble. There's changes in some sort of an agreement or perhaps terms to property and real estate as well as the family, where she is pretty deeply rooted in a dispute, followed by whip down here. But there's two men besides Kushner, because he sits on crossroads. So two men that are also facing endings, crossroads and house, coffin. Endings and losses, like bad losses, bad losses. Now, also right here, this could be something, garden is, garden it's a party, it's society, it's a large group of people, it's big outdoor areas, congregations of people, a large body of people. Sometimes it's even a big grassy area outdoors. Now, if this is in regards to the inaugural, there's something that happens here where there's punishment. There's punishment here and then another fine this way. But that shows up ahead of her 1, 2, 3, 4 columns ahead. Let me see here. The January 6th committee. Let's see. Because there's subpoenas here. Subpoenas that were delivered that she is being promised to have to go to this court to talk to them. And she's like, F you, I'm not going. And they've been patient. And that patience is about to run out. So the January 6th committee could be here with birds, because bird sits on tower, tower sits on birds. There's a few places that she needs to go talk to law and government institutions. There's a couple. Let me see. One second. Hold on, you guys. My brother-in-law just got here and I got to go talk to him real quick. I'll be right back, and I'm going to refill my tea. I'll be right back, you guys. Please hold. Sorry, guys. You hear any ruckus down there? It's Peanut and my brother-in-law having a little ruckus. There was snow. It snowed last night and the day before yesterday up in the mountains. So my brother-in-law called in sick to work to go catch some fresh powder. So they're looking at, he took his little GoPro and they were looking at videos and stuff of the ski trip that he took. So anyways, enough of the chitter chatter. Okay. I think that's better. Okay, so let me see. Anyways, she's on her mind is trouble, and how she's going to be face ruin here. But like I said earlier, emotional distress and her reputation is diminishing. Her honor is diminishing. The opportunity for venture and capital comes through someone that she's very loyal to and in partnership with, which brings me back to Jared, because he's got ring over his head. So they're in discussions about their finances. And when that gets cut. Let me see here. There's something here that also comes out in discovery. During her time in the administration that goes to committee in regards to an election loss, and also something that it not just the committee, but something that comes out in discovery in the courts that have to do with big parties where there were gifts given here. So I don't know if this is in regards to property. Where is the... And here down this column again, we're seeing problems with business, trouble with business for her. It shows ultimate success here with the sun, but it's followed by, the sun is sitting right in the middle of very negative, bad cards. Mountain, sun, whip, and scythe. She's going to be, her line of fate, her answer is to delay and obstruct, but also her access is delayed or obstructed. She can't get to it. Her success in business or being able to shop, it's bad. She's going to have to fight for it, and it's persistent fighting. And then there's the rupture here, danger and charges, swift punishment. With scythe sitting on cross. The swift punishment is this way, fines, and her being cut off from access to things. Now, she sits far from crossroads, which would give you a point of where you can look at alternatives and options like an escape route. Okay, but it sits on house coffin. So it's like, hold on, I got my notes here. Okay, so ship. Let me jump over here real quick. Ship is commerce. Okay. It knights over here to fish. Okay, but anchor is quite a bit away, isn't it? Where is anchor? Anchor. Over here. So since anchor sits far, far away. It still shows commerce and business, but ship nights here to fish, but ship also nights to coffin. So while the ship and fish represents your extra profits and affluence, these extras are usually like revenues on top of your normal capital, which is fish. Okay, so ship is more like your extra, but it nights here, and if you follow it this way, it goes here to clouds, and then catty cornered here to mountain. And then the anchor, where did that go? Over here, sits very far from her. Which means that the security that the anchor provides is kind of out of her reach just because she sits so far from it. Hey, Jenny. Let me see. So again, what I was saying with the crossroads, no matter how far it is from the significator, because crossroads is a card of options and choices, of alternatives, doubles. The crossroads is able to give, no matter how far, it's able to give an escape route. But it sits on house coffin. So I'm going to read this as there's no way out, multiple losses, dead ends, no options and no choices. And because it's far, even if she really did have choices, it's almost like the choices are less tangible and literally not easy to reach because of where she sits. She's here, crossroads is over here, so it's not easy for her to reach and out. Now, what I was saying earlier, it's like her tactic is to delay because she's got mountain right below her. Delay. So she is in control of this. She does this. She delays. Okay. She's got birds over her head in tower in birds. And then this way, it shows the early stages of legal arguments. And then there's also a judge. So it's like this forces her hand to have to go. Let me see. Let me move this down. Hey, Jenny. Let me see. Let me see. Mice, nights here to birds. That's bad because mice already carries stress and anxiety, and this is nervousness. Like I said, her health, it's like she's seriously like struggling and perhaps is suffering from chronic anxiety and depression because of her circumstances. And up here it's saying emotional stress. And she's in a world of trouble because of this man here, King of Clubs, her dad. He nights here, snake nights to clouds. Serious troubles and issues. Big problems. Confused, irritable, moody man. but it's more than one. It's more than just her dad. Cloud sits on man. Man is over here. He sits on crossroads next to the house. So this is telling me that the immediate family here, besides them fighting, arguing, the family is also trying to delay and obstruct. Like I said earlier, house sits on mountain, but also the properties in the family come under significant pressure. And it's not a win. It's not a win. If this is the family, we box them in. Okay. They have to, there's something that is being negotiated in the courts as well as other institutions. And it's quite possibly the institutions that deal with property and institutions that hold something of value with ring. Ring is not money and it's not your assets, but it's things of value. Okay. Those things are on their way to be delivered and collect this way. And let me see. There's losses here to the institution and the corporation. If this is court, they lose. Serious. This is not a loss like mice, where mice kind of takes away. This is like, put a fork in it. It's done. Shut down. The end. Kaput. Done. And then the properties in the family are seriously suffering. And then there's this man here that suffers as well. Prolonged with anchor right next to it. Let me move this up. I think that's better. Oh God, now I screwed it up. Okay. The family and properties are in serious trouble. The properties themselves may be solid financially, but the finances aren't there. The finances aren't there. It's almost like this is going to be fought out, and it's going to result in having to sell. Because of the line of fate. Mountain on key, sun on fish. Successful sale. Fish is shopping, transactions, independence, abundance, wealth, prosperity, resources, employment, self-employment. So it's like they're going to have to sell. Let me see. Bear on lilies. It's like he has the access to the finances and she doesn't. But we already went over that, where it's like they're already talking about how he's going to have to, her husband is going to have to bail her out because he's got the money, he's got the resources here. And it's showing that she is blocked and cut off when this happens, when they shut down the institutions. And all that. And then with the serious fines that come this way. Let me see. Ooh. Okay. She's also very stressed out. about what else is going to be discovered in the committee. This sits on stars. This sits on stars. So there's mail that was, no. Because this letter and crossroads would be mail that's forwarded, but it's crossroads and letter. So this is saying several documents that were persistently fraudulent this way. Up here, it's talking about significant stress and her reputation being slowly diminished, her honors being diminished. There's an opportunity for commerce, a desire for her family, the love of her family. I doubt that, but a passionate family as well, very generous, generosity towards her family, and some sort of a change. But right here, this is problematic. Book on clouds, obscurity, big trouble. This society or this large group of people, this party, is a snake pit in a lot of trouble, but there's several of them. There's more than one. And those also close. Another thing, like I stated before, this can also be in reference to very large outdoor areas as well. And if you go this way, there's your party, your congregation of people, the news about that, and how the family and the property that's there is in serious trouble. She sits on house letter. So there's documentation and reports, results, paperwork, the early stages of fighting and disputes, from the arrival of an investigation or news of her fraudulence, long-term financial stuff. But also, mice sits far. Whatever is lost or stolen, she is not able to retrieve. And it's above her head. She has no control over that. So the stress, the anxiety, whatever losses as a result of this, she is not able to retrieve. Cross sits far from her, prolonged, and it's reiterated here with anchor. It's not easy for her to handle this. Also, cross sits on mice. So suffering from anxiety and suffering from losses as well as a result of the investigation and fraud. This way, what's hitting her here? Things that she values. Once this becomes public, the knowledge, the secrets, whatever projects she was working on with things of value, that closes on her too. It's just losses, 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 losses. And that's like we talked about earlier. It's causing her a lot of anxiety, stress, depression. Well, here's an idea. Don't commit crimes. I mean, just saying. I don't feel sorry for her. I ain't going to cry for you, Argentina. Let me see here. News of a closure of these institutions for men in the family, because there's 2 men here that are in the family that are related to her family tree. Because tree goes back to her. 2 men. Well, there's this man, this man, her husband, in the family tree. News of their closures and ruin. Another thing that may be bothering her, that's causing her even more stress and anxiety, because she sits on house letter. As if we're looking at personality, letter is very superficial. And here we're seeing that she's untrustworthy, quite nervous, depressed, argumentative, moody, just all sorts of stuff. Another thing that may be adding to her stress is that it's almost like being exiled from society. Coffin sits on garden. Garden is society, parties, socializing, being around a lot of people. And look how far it sits from her. It's out of reach, and here it says it's closed. I mean, it could just say that she's staying out of the public eye, but and I'm not saying, there's not people in the upper echelons of society that aren't crooked. I'm sure a hell of a lot of them are. But, and then here, it's like distant friends, closed off from parties, society, socializing, and then garden itself is far from her. Now, she does not even have the close friends cluster, which would be dog, garden, child, and ring. She doesn't even have that. It's too scattered and far away, out of reach. The closest thing she has is the family, and the family's under a shitstorm and a lot of fighting in the family. Snake on dog, no loyalties. No loyalties. Widespread lies here that are communicated come to an end. The family and the properties of this man suffer persistently. That's that line. Guilt, burden, sacrifice. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Nope, she doesn't even have that. That line would be read this way. Book, ring, coffin, woman. If she was looking for a book deal, no. No. Book, agreement, ends, closes, done, kaput, done. And here's the thing. Here's another thing. In the middle of the riot, Vanky was over there texting, not texting, but Twittering, good job, patriots. She deleted those tweets. That doesn't mean they went away from the internet. They're still there. So while her father incited an insurrection and everybody was trying to say that she was the one trying to get her dad to make it stop, she was actually cheering it on until she figured out, oh, this is bad. And then she took those tweets down, if anybody remembers that. Well, that's not what it means, Semperance. That is not what it means. Book is not an ending. Book is knowledge. It is projects. It is secrets. It is knowledge. It is learning. Coffin is the end. So if you want to read it that way, go ahead, but your readings are not going to be correct. Let me see here. So serious trouble in her business ventures for financial fraud. What else should I look at? What else should I look at? Let's see. Pumpkin, huh? Pumpkin, wait, why are Republicans talking about emails? I don't know. I haven't, the document Trump was passing to Putin was the real thing, or I don't know. This is not about Donald Trump. Oh, on the Grand Tableau yesterday for Donald Trump, we hit this one really quick. When we were going down this middle row here, it was birds, letter, writer. And I forgot what the question was. Somebody asked me something and I was like, no, this is documents that are being delivered, or documents about visitors, because writer, letter and writer, documents about visitors that may have come in secret. I think we talked about that yesterday in that Grand Tableau. And I think today the news came out that that Biden told the National Archives they have 15 days to release to the House committee the visitor logs from the people that were visiting Trump in and around the day of the insurrection. And I think that's what it said, but the visitor logs are being delivered to the committee. So, and I think, because I think we touched on that very briefly yesterday, because it's right here. Letter on House Man. So the results, the documents pertaining to Trump, and then here with writer on House Fish, the many visitors, an abundance of visitors, also independent visitors, and also visitors with fish here. These could be like entrepreneurs. Okay, and then they were done in secret here, or they were trying to keep it quiet, with book sitting on anchor. But it's delivered here with writer, book, and then here to the House with House on cross. And I think we talked about that yesterday briefly. Jenny, what else should I look at? Sorry. No, it does not. About her having another kid? No. Have I followed the chain? No, I haven't. Yeah, it's for a year, Carol. Her marriage is under strain. It's under strain. They are talking mostly. Birds is also an older pair together. Okay, but they're mostly talking and discussing and negotiating finances. But Ring sits above him. So in order to get these three to talk, you can't box them in because it goes here to child, to Ring, but then it leaves man out. See what I'm saying? It's like three legs. It says, yeah, she's married with children, but then it leaves him out. I can't box him into that, to Ring. Let me see. Her chain is very short. Let me get the... Woman. Letter. Strokes. Storks and tree. That's her chain. It's quite short. There's something, one way to interpret this is that there's something here in regards to perhaps emails that have to do with a change, an upgrade, something that improves, add to, that is quite solid. So this could be in regards to anything that the government may have, or the courts may have, or the banks may have, that is written electronically about adding to something, improving something, moving something. So that could be in regards to her fingerprints are all over, that sort of stuff. Another way to interpret this is that she figures the only way out of this is to fly the coup and start over again, have a fresh start in life. And I think we talked about that on this line here. Here's an airport. these two together, this talks about travel, but when these two birds and ships show up together, that means long distance travel, far, far away. And there's a move here. So it's flight by air to a very far, far away place. What's interesting, though, is that I don't see a change of residence, because storks and ring and house, this is talking more like improvements that she's under contract for a house. So this could be more like renovating a home, if that makes sense. Now, if it was house storks, that would mean a change of residence. So that's, you know, she just may like decide, F the courts, I'm going on vacation, you know, and I'll talk to them when I feel like talking to them, because here it says that the family is rooted, the properties are rooted. So this is looking more like perhaps being under contract to upgrade and renovate a house that could be in disrepair. It's got coffin here. Could be a money pit as well, with bear sitting right here. Mm-mm-mm. So it's for chain. Let's see. Hold on. All right, hold on. 22. 28. Eight. Garden. Snake. House. Mountain. Mountain. Key. Key. Sun. Fish. Okay. There. Rose. Scythe. Cross. Nice. Clover. Ship. Book and clouds. Okay, so this is the chain for the man, and I know I can't fit it all in there. So it goes man, crossroads, coffin, garden, snake, dog, ring, child, whip, anchor, heart, house, mountain, key, sun, fish, bouquet, bear, lilies, scythe, cross, mice, clover, ship, book, and clouds. So there's multiple men. Maybe two, because it's crossroads and man and crossroads, two men that are out of choices and options. The organization is under a lot of trouble. They have someone that is committed to fighting persistently because the family desires to delay. However, that delay does not work because it is opened. Mountain followed by key. That delay is opened. And that's when they get the answers to the business, the shopping, the trading, the transactions, and all of the finances and resources that were acquired. And there is a very swift decision, even though it may take a while, There is someone that's older and mature that makes a decision that punishes them and causes losses. Their luck in commerce and venture becomes extremely uncertain and problematic. Nobody wants to touch them. Another way to read this, let me see how else can I, so this is the two brothers, Eric and I Eat Paste. It's man, crossroads, coffin. They're out of choices and options, dead ends, and they're also facing multiple losses. Okay. Multiple, not like I said before, it's not like mice where little bits get taken away little by little. It's ruin. Like you're done. The organization here is not trustworthy. Snake and dog. The organization is not trustworthy in the promises that they made. So garden, snake, dog, ring. The organization is not trustworthy in the promises that they have made. There will be a continuation, repeat, arguing in circles. And that's at the early stages with child and whip, new arguments that are persistent to achieve what the family is desiring. And that desire is to delay, block, obstruct. But mountain is followed by key, which is access. It's the answer. So the delay tactic that they've all learned doesn't work. It gets opened up here with key. Key is followed by sun. That's a huge revelation. Followed by fish about the business. Bouquet. This is satisfaction, joy, gifts that are financial with bear over a long period of time that have matured. Okay. There's lilies. That maturity and those finances that have matured over time are ruptured and cut off here with scythe. They lose access to the delays. When that gets revealed, this right here, they lose access to it. The finances, they lose access to the finances in business. Okay, if I look at this line here, they suffer losses and their opportunity for commerce, once that's revealed, becomes extremely problematic. There will be knowledge that the amount of trouble that these people are in. So that's for the men, the man in the line. And like I said, it's traditionally it would be Kushner, but because he's landing on crossroads, that means multiples. And he's got house right there. So I'm thinking it's the siblings as well. Let me see. Kushner has brothers too. I don't know. I don't know because he sits on crossroads. So there's more than one. There's more than one. Crossroads is double, but it's also multiples. So yep. And if I don't read that as multiple men, it could be a decision that he made that's very, 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 very bad. That brings ruin, where he hits a dead end. I hope that makes sense. Oh, his brother is in healthcare. No, Tree wasn't in that line. Tree wasn't in that line at all. It was business and commerce, finance. Now, if that's the case, Tree sits very close to this man. He's got Bear right here, which is finance, but it's also a person that's an executive. We'll look at what's here and right here. Book sits on clouds. Knowledge of something that is airborne, that he delivered undercover, that's suspicious, or he could be getting quite possibly investigated for 2 men or multiple men. There's your finances, and then there's vaccines here. That's another way to interpret that one. So I'm wondering if Kushner, because Kushner had knowledge of the pandemic before the public did, I'm wondering if he delivered that information to his brother, because here it says knowledge on clouds of something airborne, gaseous. The delivery or the feedback of an investigation, or the feedback of something that is covert, that you can't, it's hard to diagnose. 2 men, finances, and then vaccines. And the only reason I say that is because clouds or Tree sits so close. This would be fevers. This is something chronic with the lungs. This is injections. This is the throat. This would be like your, well, no, that's too far. And it was weird because you weren't here during the beginning of the tableau, and I was saying health issues with IVANKA simply because Tree sits so close, and she's got all the bad cards here for health, for the, let me see, the health cluster. So it's not just Tree, but the health cluster would be coffin, which is touching Tree. Clouds, which is also touching Tree. Whip, which is right below Tree. And tower, which knights over to Tree. So that's the health cluster: tower, coffin, clouds, whip, and Tree. And there was a significant amount of finances that were ill-gottenly gain through suspicious means. And remember, he had access to that information when the pandemic first started. And if you follow his line up, knowledge. And here's China. There's something going on with Ivanka Trump and China here. Qian, this way. I just saw that. Her business with China. But the business with China, this way, it looks to be doing well. The stuff here domestically is where the shit hits the fan. But she's got it's like she's cut off from access from financing here, but she still has this. Ventures and capital in addition to what she already has with China. No, that's too far. This would be the purchase of a literal coffin. It's too far. It's something else. It looks more perhaps technology related. Stars would be technology, the web, GPS, maps, anything that sparkles and shines, glitter, glitz and glam. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. It's not the coffins, Jenny. It's something else. This could be like navigation systems, telecommunications of some sort, like satellites and radars. Also, another way to read this line of fate, she's able to overcome, if this is commerce and business with China, which shows very good over this way. You know what? I'm not going to say that. Well, fuck it. Obstacles and delays, blockages, but there's success with weapons. Here. There's success with weapons. And there's financial growth with a family that is very oppressive and domineering, that is quite dangerous, that had knowledge of an investigative reporter that may have been cut this way. They provide financing because it sits on lilies. If that makes sense. We go over here. But it's closest to Kushner, not to her. It comes through him, not her. Her ventures are more with Chen this way. His is more over here. It's closer to him than to her. Which I don't know what the Saudis would want to do with Kushner. It's not like he has access to shit any longer. Let me see. So a GPS system, a crystal or a gemstone, glitter, bling, anything that sparkles, fireworks, an astrological chart, a star sticker, badge, or a medal, electricity, a magic wand, internet, the World Wide Web, and under the stars. That's the business venture. It's something around that. And it sits on storks. It sits on storks. The hell is that? Give me a second. It's sitting on storks. On top of something. It's something that goes on top of something. I'm thinking like satellites, or it's on top of something. It's high up. So it's not the coffins, Jenny. It's something else. GPS systems, navigation systems, something that's mounted on top of something, satellites. Well, this would be more like a satellite here. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, you know, the moon is our natural satellite. Does that make sense, Jenny? No, I don't see art because art is more over here. This is art with bouquet. Here's stuff. This would be something to do with a child. And this would be more like clothing, accessories, handbags, art, anything that you would use to beautify, make something pretty. But it looks like her business is closer to China, not domestically. Domestically, she's going to get fucked. But I do not see, unfortunately, on this tableau, I misspoke yesterday. If there is an indictment, it's the organization. Because the institutions, the corporations, all LLCs or whatever other off branch of Trump, whatever the F they have, closes. Garden sits on coffin. All the organizations close, and it causes big problems. So domestically in trouble, but she's got hope and opportunity and ventures abroad. So that's what I get. Let me see. Okay, so if this is China, I'm going to look at dog. So dog goes to ring, an agreement with China that is new or could be small or could have to do with children, because that's card number 13, child. Child goes to whip. Criticized, abusive, fighting. And then there's something here that's persistent or has fortitude, passion and desire for the family. There's an obstacle and a delay, but then there's access to success for business that brings joy and satisfaction financially. It needs time to mature, but then there's a rupture and punishment. Something is sacrificed. Losses. Something is taken away. Persistent losses, but there's still small wins in business ventures abroad that are secret and problematic with a man, several men. Losses to the community or the organization, lying and betrayals from this friend. So that's not even a good business venture. It's good temporarily until it's not. Until it's not. And what connects them is here and here. So this way, business friend that's new, a new business contact with her. And then this way, Oh yeah, that is her. A successful friend that she's negotiating with in regards to with the government and also the institutions, but be careful because that friend bites, and so does she. That's not good partnership. And when read this way, left to right, it heads into shit. That partnership with China turns to shit eventually. Don't ask me when, but eventually. Bear puts his claw here on Scythe. Bear puts his claw on Scythe. This guy's making financial ventures too with weapons. Real estate, health. 32, 31, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Mm. 30, 30, 30. That's the lilies. Mm. Same. Significant power and finances, but it's fraudulent. Access to business. That satisfies this. And they're gifted this. Okay. This is bearing down on this. Scythe. Danger. Accidents. Ruptures. Decisions. A simple way to read this is that he makes a financial decision that results in burdens and losses that are pretty persistent. Financing that comes from here. Where is, and it knights here. There's a tower, knights here to tree. Tree next to bear. Quite possibly something around a bank somewhere where there's a tree. A bank where there's a tree. A bank where there's a tree. A bank where there's a tree. What the hell does that mean? A bank where there's a tree. Oh, my brain is fried. A bank with a tree. A bank with a tree. A bank with a tree. Bank with a tree. Bank with a tree. Oh my God, why can't I think? I'm stuck. I'm stuck in my brain. A bank with a tree. It's not a hospital. It's a financial institution where there's a tree. There's a tree there. There's a bank with a tree, and it's in a hot region. Weapons here around this guy. Cyprus. Thank you so much, you guys, because I got stuck. I got stuck. The Bank of Cyprus. Okay, Mediterranean, used for money laundering. Well, an institution. This would be like a hospital, but bears right here. Finances. So a financial institution somewhere where there's a tree. There's something there around this person here, the Kushner man. Weapons and energy. Weapons and energy. But it's significant fraud. That's not clean. It's significant fraud. And there's something here where he makes a decision or something happens and he is cut off and has significant losses. He suffers losses. This dude here. I'm going to have to do a grand tableau on him. I'm going to have to do a grand tableau on him. These dirty motherfuckers, man. $32.31. That gives them access to business and energy. This institution here gives them access with key on sun to fish. That gives them access to energy and business and makes them successful. The business is satisfactory, very, very happy financially. This right here, bear on lilies. Financing that is mature, financing with someone of royal lineage with lilies. Because lilies is like, you have that name that people recognize. Do you see what I'm saying? A certain pedigree that is associated to this card. That's dangerous. But then it's a decision. There's something that I need to do a grand tableau on him. There's something that he does where he makes a decision that causes suffering for him and losses. And then this way, another way to read this, because we already talked about him having knowledge and profiteering and financing from the health-related thing with his here family, and then tree brother, quite possibly for vaccines because of his knowledge of something that was airborne. Thanks to Jenny for helping me out on that. But another thing here is secrets delivered, man executive, secrets delivered. This man here, finances. Book in-house clouds. So knowledge of trouble, knowledge of something as a thing, like I said earlier, gaseous, airborne, where sun is more energy, clouds is something more gaseous, smoke, humidifiers, perfumes. But he had knowledge of that, delivered suspiciously. A choice that he made, and more than one man too, and then finances. I need to do a grand tableau on him too, because he, right here to fraud, there's something around him with fraudulent records as well, several of them, with persistent fraud for Kushner. Tower, arrogant little fucker. Bouquet close to him, pretty boy, but also very narcissistic. Tower, egotistical, personality-wise, standoffish, stuck up, but also law. And then here to clouds, in trouble, confused, irritable, moody, emotionally up and down, up and down, up and down. Key nights here to garden, social, uppity, uppity. When he nights over here to when he nights here to storks, with writer right above him, and storks right here, well-dressed, pretty boy. Well-dressed, pretty boy, high-end, upper class, upper society with these two. Storks on top of something, improvement, garden society. Very ambitious though, with him knighting here. It's like he's not satisfied with his lot. He wants upper. He wants more. If that makes any sense for him, if that makes any sense what I just said. Ambitions, his ambitions is to his lot, he's okay, but he's not okay. He wants to be up here, like a Jeff Bezos or something, or Elon Musk, if that makes sense. Yeah, the millions that they, got through nefarious means apparently isn't enough to satisfy these people. They need more. It's a fucking illness. I'm telling you, greed is an illness. I swear to God it is. Same with her. Ambitious. Argumentative. We went over that already. She's yells at people. Moody. This way. Nervous. Liar, not trustworthy. Stubborn. I don't see her going to prison. I do not see her going, not in this grand tableau. I see huge freaking fines and her losing her business here, but she still has ventures abroad, as does he. As does he. He's got choices right here. Choices and options that bring a lot of financial satisfaction. But those will eventually be cut off and closed. He'll run out of options too. He'll run into dead ends. Yeah, that's Greta. That's what my sister and I call IVANKA and the kids, the children of the corn. They're just awful, just god awful. I don't even see house arrest. I see huge, huge fines. The loss and the shutdown of all of Trump org and all companies associated to it, completely closed, shut down, closed for business, do not pass go, do not collect $200, done, kaput. But they're still okay financially for the time being because of her ventures in China here and his ventures here. So that's what I got. And I've been on for 2 hours. 2 hours. Does he want to be president? I don't see it here. I don't see it here. I do not see it here. So I guess tomorrow I'll come back on and we'll do one of the I'll do it tomorrow. We'll do one of the other children of the corn. I'm curious to see about Eric and I eat paste and I smoke crack because of that chain. 2 men that run out of choices and options, and it's just like done, kaput, bye-bye. Hey, does anybody know, is Jared Kushner also in the Trump organization? Is he also involved in the Trump org? Yeah, if Kushner has any brains, he'll realize that the amount of shit that his wife and their entire family just got into by putting themselves out there so publicly and being under scrutiny. And then having the balls to break every goddamn law in the book with impunity. If he has any brains, stay out of the White House or stay out of any public office. Because what's about to happen to them, even though it may take a long time to get there, the wheels of justice are slow, but they do turn. So I gotta do one on the other children of the corn. So I mean, I don't know if Kushner is directly has a share or is involved with the Trump organization or whatever, but it's like, yep. So yeah, you guys, it's 9:44 over here. I will try to come back on tomorrow. Friday, I am not sure, simply because we just got the notification. I had to take Friday. The Lilies can be France, but it's far away from here. Or anywhere where there's a fleur-de-lis, and I think the fleur-de-lis is specific to France. Let me see. Oh, we got the a notice in our email that we're going to have interruptions to our internet on Friday. So I'm going to be out of internet. I took the day off because they didn't even give me a window of when they're anticipating to turn off our internet for maintenance or whatever. it just says anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. And I'm like, y'all better make that shit in the morning because I ain't trying to be over here, you know, with nothing to do at night. I got to be online. So we'll see. Wish me luck. So, yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope everybody has a good evening. I will try to be back on tomorrow to do one of the Children of the Corn. Hope you guys had a great evening. Thanks for hanging out. I think I said that already. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.